Varix Bladewing. 2 red for a 4/4 flying dragon. Oh! He's got kicker, chat. If it was kicked, great. Karox Bladewing. Legendary 4/4 red dragon creature with flying.
You can't keep getting away with this!
We're gonna upgrade them, boys, and also review them at the same time. I'd be asking, Bounce Man, how do you actually upgrade your decks? What's the criteria? Now, some channels you watch may say something along the lines of, okay, guys, today we're gonna cut 10 cards and add 10 cards back, and we're gonna a budget price of $20. No. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We're gonna go through every card in this deck, and if we think it's bad, we cut it. Plain and simple. The people speak and say, this card is get out tier. It gets out. It's gone forever. No budget. The budget is logic. We're gonna look at prices and we're gonna say, is this card worth the card price?
No.
And do people have, on average, enough money to spend to buy this card in question?
No.
The answer is no, then no. Like, you know, if a card is $5 and it's a card we think is worth $5, sure. We're probably not gonna add any, like, $20 cards, to be honest. If chat somehow convinces me that it's really worth it, then I don't know, maybe, I guess. The TEMURS Precon has two choices for commanders, chat. First up, we have Eshki, TEMURS Roar. Green, blue, red, 3 mana for a 2/2 legendary human warrior creature. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Eshki. If that spell's power is 4 or greater, draw a card. If that spell's power is 6 or greater, Eshki deals damage equal to Eshki's power to each opponent. Garruk's Uprising in the command zone. Well, not exactly, because she doesn't give trample, but she is a just a draw engine in the command zone, which is always great. And also, when you cast the really big creatures, she domes every opponent for, in theory, at least like 4. So she can be doing like 12 damage just for free whenever you cast big creatures. That's not bad at all. We got one choice for commander, Mirim. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. I don't disagree, but we'll get there. We'll see what chat thinks. Our second choice for the Precon is Ureni of the Unwritten. 4 green, blue, red, 7 mana for a 7/7 legendary spirit dragon creature. Ugin, eat your heart out. Flying Trample. Whenever Ureni enters or attacks, look at the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a dragon creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. She hits the field, or he hits the field. I'm not sure what Ureni's gender is, honestly. Whenever Ureni hits the field, you just cheat a dragon to play. Assuming Ureni does not get countered. If Ureni gets countered, womp womp tier. Alternatively, as someone in chat mentioned, there is a secret third commander that watching themselves literally thought to add, but then said, no, we can't. Because if we add this commander, it'll overshadow anything we could possibly make for this Precon. And that's Mirim. What's Mirim, chat? 3 green, blue, red, 6 mana for a legendary dragon spirit. Not a spirit dragon, for some reason. What's the difference? It's more dragon than spirit, as opposed to Ureni. 6/6 flying ward 2. Whenever another non-token creature, whenever another non-token dragon control enters, create a token, it's a copy of it, except the token is not legendary. One small problem, chat. It's $13. And honestly, by the time this video goes up, it'll probably be like 20. It'll probably hit like 20 bucks at least if we run Mirim. Mirim probably is like the strongest commander you could possibly run for this deck. He was $1 a month ago. Investor W. Investor W, I guess. If you bought crap loads of Mirims pre-teamer reveal. Absolute stonks. I'm gonna make a poll, chat. I'm gonna let y'all decide if you want to do Mirim, Eshki, or Ureni. Keep in mind, Mirim off the rip will add 20 bucks. to the budget, which is a pretty hefty hit. I guess it's a question of, do you want a finisher in the command zone or like an engine in the command zone? I feel like Ureni's gonna enter, cheat in one dragon, then die immediately. Like, there's no way you look at this thing and then say, oh yeah, I'm gonna allow the dragon cheat engine to survive. There's no way. I know Ureni is like this. It's oh, you big 7-mana dragon that cheats in other dragons. Oh, like Eshki, whenever you cast 6 power or greater dragons, she's probably gonna dome every opponent for like 5 or 4, 6, 7, something insane. So Eshki herself will deal really solid damage, and plus she's gonna grow as you just cast creature spells. I know she doesn't really have that much aura compared to Ureni, but to be real, Eshki's probably better for consistency purposes. I think chat has spoken. We're gonna do Eshki. All right, let's get into the individual card judgment, chat. Oh, the best part of the stream. Atsushi, the Blazing Sky. 2 red, 4 mana for a 4/4 dragon spirit creature, legendary. Flying trample. When Atsushi dies, choose one. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. So, Impulse, draw 2. Or, create 3 treasures. Chat, I'm not gonna lie. I actually really don't like this guy. Die triggers in a non-sack deck is weird. I agree. Like, I guess it's kind of okay for the stat line. It's 4 mana, 4/4 flying trample. Eh. You get draw and red on a body. Yeah, I get draw if he dies. My opponent's gonna just not kill him. And let my little 4/4 just smack him. Oh. Atsushi, I think it's get outs here. Move to sideboard. Oh yeah, I should say, chat. Cards we put in the sideboard are cards we remove from the deck. So those are cards you should cut, and the cards we add will just be in the actual list of the upgrade. Brood Caller Scourge, 5 green, 7 mana for a 5/7 dragon. Flying, of course. Even though it's a mono green card. Okay. Whenever one or more dragons you control deal combat damage to a player, you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to that damage from your hand onto the battlefield. Hello? You can cheat out 3 things at once because it's damage to a player, right? So you hit 3 people and you cheat out 2 lands and a dragon, or just 3 big dragons or mana rock or whatever. That's great. That's really good. Absolute ore. We keep this 100%. Deceptive Frostkite. 2 blue mana for a 1/1 dragon. You may have this creature enter as a copy of a creature control power 4 or greater, except it's a dragon in addition to its other types, and it has flying. Phantasmal Image, eat your heart out. This thing's nuts. 2 mana clone with flying? Oh no, you can only copy power 4 or greater creatures. Oh, God forbid, I can only copy big creatures for 2 mana. Oh no. How am I possibly gonna get power 4 or greater in my small dragon deck? Dragon Lord Servant. 1 red for a 1/3 goblin shaman creature. Dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. The flavor is peak, obviously. I feel like most people play Servant for flavor alone, even though it's not super good, to be honest. So, chat, I got a question for y'all, right? Medallions. Why are these good, chat? I'll answer for you. Because they make the cost of every spell in your deck most of the time less. So most of the time, you're netting like 2, 3 upwards of like 4 mana with this 2 mana card every turn. So the amount of value this spell generates you is actually quite a lot. Dragon Lord Servant only affects dragons and is also a creature, which means it dies to collateral damage, like edicts and board wipes and whatnot. And to make things even worse, right? Medallion reduces the cost of all your low mana cost spells, right? Your nature's lores and your cultivates, right? Etc, etc. Dragons almost always cost like at least 4, but usually it's more like 5, 6, 7. Dragon Lord Servant will only ever net you 1 mana most of the time, and won't start netting you more than 1 until you hit like 7, 8, maybe 9 lands. So what this actually is a mirror. It's a 2 mana creature that adds 1 mana. Is that good, chat? I mean, eventually it can start to add more than 1 mana, but not until like super late game. And I think by the time you get there, it's just gonna die through like a wipe or an edict or something. Like it'll die somehow to collateral damage. And also it's a mirror that like doesn't even ramp you for a 2/3 of your deck to make matters worse. I will say the flavor is there. The flavor is peak, and as I said, I do feel like most people only play Dragonlord Servant now for the flavor, not because it's actually good. I think he's get out tier. The flavor is there, but he's just not good anymore. Dragon Master Outcast. 1 red mana for a 1/1 human shaman creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 6 or more lands, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. Art by Raymond Swanland, my goat. This might be a hot take, chat. I actually like think Outcast is fine. Like, yes, it's bad early game, but 1 mana to make a 5/5 every one of your upkeeps, I think is perfectly fine, in my opinion. It's 1 mana, right? If you make 1 dragon, you've gotten your value, to be fair. Absolute aura, at least, that's something, right? It does have aura, I'll give you that. I think he's fine. I like him. I like his aura. I like his vibes. We have 4 votes for nah, he's chill, and 2 votes for get out. He is just a little guy. Honestly, I'd shit him mind, keep him. Alright. The people have spoken. We'll keep Outcast. Maybe down the road he might come out, but I think for now he's fine. I mean, dude, it's 1 mana on your upkeep, make a 5/5 dragon. You can't hate that too much. Next up, we have Gadrak, the Crown Scourge, literally Smaug from Lord of the Rings. 2 in a red, 3 mana for a 5/4 flying legendary dragon creature. Good stat line. Gadrak can't attack unless you control 4 more artifacts. Okay, well, I mean, we have 6. We have 6 artifacts in the deck right now. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn on your end step. Not every end step, your end step. You're a flying deck, alright? You are dragons, you have flying. It's already hard as hell for your opponents to block you in combat. The logical thing to say is, oh, well, creature will die in combat, right? That's not even true. If we have a lot of effects that are like, oh, yeah, man, when this dragon comes down, it hits some creatures for damage, like Terror the Peaks or Warstorm Surge, right? If you have a dragon deck that tries to put in enough cards to make Gadrak work, I think you can make him playable. Not even good, playable. Also, like, chances are good you're gonna be just sacking the treasure anyways, so his stat line is just irrelevant. He can block, I guess. So, but I mean, are you blocking in dragons? I don't think so. Like, I think Gadrak actually is a really good card but you have to build around him super hard, dude. Glorybringer, 3 red for a 4/4 flying haste dragon. A acceptable stat line. It's okay. You may exert Glorybringer as it attacks. When you do, it does 4 damage to target non-dragon creature an opponent controls. A exerted creature won't untap during your next untap step. So when you swing with your 5 mana 4/4 flying haste dragon, you can make it not untap on your next turn to kill 1 small creature. Standard All-Star, I'll give you that. He was an All-Star in Standard. If the exert wasn't there, I'd be okay. But the fact that I gotta basically deny myself an entire turn cycle of using him to kill 1 small creature, nah, get out tier. Hammerhead Tyrant.
Huh?
Goofy Dragon. 4 blue for a 6/6 flying dragon creature. Whenever you cast a spell, return up to 1 target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to that spell's mana value to its owner's hand. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Dragon. For 6 mana, I get a 6/6 flying dragon, and when I cast another spell, not him, another spell, I get to return things that have to match or be less than the mana value. For 1 mana more, I can just cast Hullbreaker Horror. It gains flash. It gains can't be countered. Can return spells or non-land permanents. And also isn't restricted on what it can bounce by the mana value of the spells you cast. Absolute power recession. Absolute power recession. It got worse. Hull is like $2. He's not even expensive. You see, a foil is $2.20. Hull Breaker is not even expensive. You can get expensive printings. Like for some reason the grayscale one is $8. Why would you ever buy this? Like, dude, this card so badly feels like it needs some other text. Like, it needs like flash, or it can't be countered at the very least, or like when you cast him, return a thing to their hand, gives your dragons ward 1, just something else, dude, because he is terrible for 6 mana. This dragon does not spark joy. He does look funny though, I'll give him that. Get out. Dude, literally, just buy a Hullbreaker Horror. We cannot be having 6 mana do nothings in a dragon deck, chat. We can't have that. I'm sorry. Harbinger of the Hunt.
Huh?
3 red green for a 5/3 dragon flying. Dies to lightning bolt. Can you imagine? Can you actually imagine? Pay 2 to red. Harbinger of the Hunt deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. Pay 2 to green. Harbinger of the Hunt deals 1 damage to each other creature with flying, which is your dragons. 10 and 5 green to wipe myself? Yeah, I can pay 4 and 2 red to Pyroclasm on my 5 mana 5/3 dragon that dies to lightning bolt. Hellkite Courser, 2 red for a 6/5 flying dragon. When Hellkite Courser enters the battlefield, you may put a commander you own from the command zone onto the battlefield. It gains haste. Return it to the command zone at the beginning of the next end step. If we were playing Ureni, I'd say, yeah, sure. But we're not. Kaiga the Tide Star, 5 and a blue, 6 mana total for a 5/5 legendary dragon spirit creature. Flying. Because obviously, when Kaiga the Tide Star dies, gain control of target creature. In what world is this dying to anything that isn't a board wipe? How is she dying, bro? How? Inform me. How is she dying in any scenario that doesn't involve someone casting a spell that says destroy all creatures? Get out here. You activate that dragon that damages all other flyers. For the low price of 10 and 5 green, you can kill your own Kaiga and every other dragon you own to steal 1 creature. Now that's what I call stonks. Last list, Dragon Queen. Hey, a staple for dragons for once. 6 mana for a 6/6 flying legendary dragon creature. Whenever another non-token dragon troll enters, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. And then you pay 2 mana to pump all your dragons by +1/+0. Pay 8 mana, give all your dragons +4/+0. Sounds pretty good to me. Leyline Tyrant. 2 red for a 4/4 flying dragon, of course. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. When Leyline Tyrant dies, you may pay any amount of red mana, and when you do, it deals that much damage to any target. It's just like a bad ramp spell, right? In this deck. This is just politics and board wipe insurance. If you board wipe me, it'll all go to face. Don't wipe me. I'll hit your face for 4 damage. Don't do it. I'll deal 4 whole damage to your face. Don't do it. Don't do it, white player. Don't do it. This can get out, right? Not for Eshki. Stop wanting dead dragons. Yeah. Nogi. Draco Zealot. 1 red for a 3/3 legendary kobold shaman creature. Dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Okay, well, we've been over this already. How that's actually a not great line of text. Whenever Nogi attacks, if you control 3 or more dragons, until end of turn, Nogi becomes a dragon with base power and toughness 5/5 and gains flying. So chat, do you play Manoliths with upside? Do you play those, chat, in your decks? And ones that are creatures, nonetheless? Do you play? Chat likes this thing? No, dude. Yeah, the flavor's pretty good, but he's not. Oh my god. Ain't no way, bro. We just cut Dragon Lord Servant. There's no way chat thinks Nogi's good, dude. Nah. Nah, say psych right now, bro. Say psych right now. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't. No. No. Don't. Do not make me keep him. Please, no, dude. He's not chat. Look, we cut Dragon Lord Servant. I don't like him, dude. It's like a Manolith, but worse to me. I don't care for the dragon mode, dude. I really don't. Bros, card analysis is off today. How do we, okay. Alright, you know what? Fine. I'm not sure how we don't like Dragon Lord Servant, but Nogi, a 3-mana servant is fine. But you know what? The people have spoken. The people have spoken. The people yearn for dragon worshipping kobolds, I guess. You got me. Absolute democracy. Opportunistic dragon, chat. 2 red for a 4/3 dragon creature. It has flying, obviously. When opportunistic dragon enters a battlefield, choose target human or artifact an opponent controls. For as long as opportunistic dragon remains on a battlefield, gain control of that permanent. It loses all abilities and it can't attack or block. Why? It's like the worst Oblivion Ring ever, the worst Fiend Hunter. It's the worst Fiend Hunter ever printed. If you really hate playing against 5-color humans, sure, I guess. Hostage Taker, but worse. Oh my god. What's next, chat? Parapet Thrasher. What's this thing do? 2 red for a flying dragon creature. 4/3. Oh, look familiar? Whenever one or more dragons you control deal combat damage to a player, or an opponent, sorry. Choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Destroy target artifact that opponent controls. This creature deals 4 damage to each other opponent. Absolute damage. Or exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Seems fine to me. Blows up artifacts, which is like ramp in a weird way because it puts your opponents behind on mana. Assuming you're hitting mana rocks. Deals 12 damage in total by itself if one dragon hits a person. Really good damage. And it's card draw. Very good card. We keep that. Absolute value engine. Next up, what is this art, dude? What is that? Dragon's Quest card. Rapacious Dragon. 4 and a red. 5 mana for a 3/3 dragon. Oh, that's not looking good. When this creature enters, create 2 treasure tokens. What? Why does this dragon deck have so many dragons that feel like nothing? The treasure is okay, but I feel like you can just run like literally any green ramp spell and you're fine. Like you don't need treasure cards. You're in green. Just run green land ramp. What are you running all the treasure things for? Dragon. Over half of that dragons kind of suck. Yeah, dude, like so far it's like all the new dragons are cracked and all the reprint dragons are like straight ass. That's kind of what it feels like right now, minus like the Atarkas and Lathless so far. I guess the Nest Dragons is cool too. Absolute get out tier. Makes the cuts nice and easy. That's true. But, like, I don't think Draconic Domination had so many dragons that felt like, yes, a nice and powerful 5-mana do-nothing dragon. I don't think Draconic Domination really had that. I don't think the Dragon deck had lots of, like, super mid dragons. I know, Territorial Hellkite was in that Precon, which was terrible, but that's, like, the only one I can think of that was, like, super terrible. I think it had Death by Dragons too in that deck, but also the Tarkir Precon was the same or even worse for dragons. Oof. I mean, weren't those like cheaper though? Weren't those like $20 and not 40? Like I can tolerate it then. If I'm buying a Precon for $20, I can tolerate like some kind of not great cards. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Like if it's half price for a bunch of dragons of that caliber, I don't really mind that much because that's like a super like entry-level deck. Sarkhan Soul of Flame. 3-mana Dragon Lord serving this chat like this guy? Let's find out. 1 blue and a red for a 2/4 legendary human shaman creature. Dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Sarkhan Soul of Flame become a copy of it until end of turn, except its name is Sarkhan Soul of Flame and it's legendary. In addition, to its other types. I actually am, like, fine with this guy. Because he kind of is, in a weird way, like a haste engine almost. Because he becomes the dragons you cast and lets you attack as those dragons when they enter. So he kind of is like a weird 1 dragon gains haste per turn engine as well, since he becomes a copy of that dragon while also being ramp. I definitely like him more than Nogi and the Dragon Lord Servant. He's a good Dragon Lord Servant because he can stop being one. Yeah, exactly. Scourge of a Throne. I remember this card used to be like 30 bucks, and then it got reprinted once in the Lord of the Rings deck, and it hit like 50 cents. I don't know what happened. 4 red for a 5/5 flying dethroned dragon. Whenever a Scourge of the Throne attacks for the first time each turn, if it's attacking the player with the most life or tied for most life, untap all attacking creatures. After his phase, there is an additional combat phase. 6-mana dragon, gives extra combats, and also might get a few counters on him to make him bigger. That's pretty good. Skargan Hellkite, what is this thing? 3 red for a 4/4 dragon. It has Riot. Riot Games. Dragon. This creature enters with your choice of a +1/+1 counter or haste. So it's a 5-mana 4/4 flying haste. Nice and Glorybringer. 3 to red. Oh boy. 4 mana. Skargan Hellkite deals 2 damage. Divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Activates ability only if Skargan Hellkite has a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, so it's actually not a Glorybringer. It's a 5-mana 5/5 flyer that gives you the access to spam 4 mana electrolyzers that don't draw cards. I'm writing about how bad this is. Yeah. Maybe that's why Gruul is so, like, angry and anti-buildings, because all their cards suck. Yeah. That would explain a lot, actually. Storm Breath Dragon. 3 red for a 4/4 flying haste. Protection from white creatures. Or white in general, what am I talking about? 5 red Monstrosity 3. If this creature isn't monstrous, put 3 +1/+1 counters on it, and it becomes monstrous. When Storm Breath Dragon becomes monstrous, it deals damage to each opponent equal number of cards in that player's hand. He's got some crazy aura, bro. But he is not that great. 5 mana 4/4 flying haste, Dyson Glorybringer with pro white. It also can't even kill creatures. For 7 mana, he can get some counters on him and dome each opponent for like 5-ish. So 7 mana, deal 15 in total, and like become a 7/7. Good back in Theros Standard, which is not now. Storm Shriek Feral. 5 mana for 3/3 flying haste. Pay 1 red. This creature gets +1/+0 on a turn. Nice and 2 mana fire breathing. Oh, wonderful. It has an Omen sorcery, which is like adventures, but instead of exiling them and casting the other side later, you shuffle the card back in. So it has like an alternate casting mode, I guess. So for 2 mana of sorcery, you can cast Flush Out. Discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards, and then when you do, you shuffle that card into your library. A draw with a dragon for desperate times. It's a draw that leaves me down card advantage. I don't really like that. I prefer repeatable card draw over the dragon. Well, technically, it is repeatable. You just gotta draw it a second time. But let's be honest, that's not gonna happen in your 100 card singleton format. Turian Mauler, 2 to red, 2/2 changeling, so it is a dragon. No flying. When an opponent casts a spell, we put a +1/+1 counter on Turian Mauler. Why is this here? Why? You're telling me I pay 40 bucks for a Precon and you put in a fake dragon? Are you kidding me? You put in a Temu dragon in my dragon Precon deck? Are you kidding me? We ran out of budget dragons to include a card. Why is this here, dude? Are you kidding me? You couldn't put like Scourge of Valkis or something? Or like, I don't know, a Bogardan Hellkite even? No, we get Turian Mauler. Another ramp spell even. Like, what the? They put this in just to make you want to run Mox, Jasper, and Cope. Ah! That must be it. Even this thing, dude. You couldn't have made, like, a new art for this card and just ran this instead? At least? You could have made art for a little, like, dragon whelp, like, cultivating some plants or something, because he's weird. And just put that in here as opposed to Torre and Mauler. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. What's next? Territorial Hellkite. Why? Alright, what's this do? 2 red for a 6/5 flying haste dragon. Hey! That's a pretty good stat line. It's got way more text too. What's it do? At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose an opponent at random that the Hellkite didn't attack during your last combat. Hellkite attacks that player this combat if able. If you can't choose an opponent this way, tap the Hellkite. Hit someone for 6 immediately, I guess? This is get out tier, right, chat? For 4 mana. Get out! Get out! Thunderbreak Regent. 2 red for a 4/4 flying dragon. You know what? I'm noticing there's a lot of, like, really low-cost dragons that don't really do a whole lot. I'm starting to notice that. There's a lot of really cheap dragons that just suck. But they're like, oh, but my mana curve. As opposed to just running more rampant into Precon. 4/4 flying dragon. What's he do? Whenever a dragon you control becomes the target of a spell or ability opponent controls, Thunderbreak Regent deals 3 damage to that player. All your dragons have ward pay 3 life, is what this guy actually says. Which is, once again, just the Deadbolt Cheeto meme. Like, I guess he's not the... Okay, compared to, like, Territorial Hellkite, or Skargan Hellkite, or Opportunistic Dragon, or, God forbid, Harbinger of the Hunt, he's not terrible. I guess he will deal some, like, little bolts of damage here and there, which isn't terrible, I guess. I'll make a poll. Is chat gonna say, nah, he chill? Okay, chat's saying, nah, he chill. Okay. Alright, fine. The people have spoken. He is board protection, I guess. Even if not that great, in my opinion. Thunder Main Dragon. 3 and a red. Wow, okay. Again, I'm seeing a trend here. 4/4 flying dragon. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells with power 4 or greater from the top of your library. If you cast a creature this way, it gains haste until end of turn. Vizier of the Menagerie eats your heart out. Easy keep. It's card advantage, it gives haste. It's good. Vengeful Ancestor. Why the Whenever Vengeful Ancestor enters battlefield or attacks, goad target creature. Whenever a goaded creature attacks, it deals 1 whole damage to its controller. Wait, okay. You're a dragon deck. Normally the purpose of goad is to force combat or, like, remove blockers by making your opponents attack other people. You're a flying deck. Your opponent is already gonna struggle really hard to block you. And your dragons. Whenever a goaded creature attacks, it deals 1 whole damage to its controller. Who cares? He attacks, goads a creature, and that deals 1 extra damage. So he's actually a 4 mana 4/4 flyer. 4 mana 4/4 flyer deck. Like, actually. There's so many of these things. Varix Bladewing. 2 red for a 4/4 flying dragon. Oh! Who could have guessed? He's got kicker chat. For 3 generic, what's it do? 4/4 flyer. When Varix Bladewing enters battlefield, if it was kicked, create Karox Bladewing, legendary 4/4 red dragon creature with flying. What happened? This is a 7 mana Broodmate Dragon, dude.
You can't keep getting away with this! You can't keep getting away with it!
Nice and powerful 7 mana Broodmate Dragon, chat. Oh my god. What? Oh my. Actually, Bounce Man, you can tap. You don't gotta cast him kicked. You can just pay 4 mana for a 4 mana 4/4 flyer with no text, actually. So actually, it's not the exact same as Broodmate Dragon. Why is this here? Because the deck needed more 4/4 flyers for 4. Ah, of course. I should have known. We're down to 16 We've cut 18 cards alone, chat, and they're all creatures. Ah, like, dude, it's literally, it's like every new dragon is cracked, minus the freaking Hammerhead Tyrant, and all the reprints are straight trash. It's so awful, dude. Like, Hellkite Courser would be good if we were playing already, but we're not, so, I'm not gonna lie, bro, I kinda wanna put Hammerhead Tyrant back in. Like, Hammerhead Tyrant, is like, now that I've seen the rest of the dragons and been over them all and see just how awful the creature suite is, I kinda wanna put Hammerhead Tyrant back in. I'm not gonna lie. I know some of chat liked them. I'll put him back. Why not? Moving on to sorceries, chat. Let's hope to God these are a lot better. Become the Avalanche. Sorcery. 4 green. Draw a card for each creature you control power 4 or greater. Okay. Then creature you control get +X until on a turn where X is the number of cards in your hand. Shamanic Revelation, that's also a overrun? Pretty good, right? 6 mana is a little Yeah, we keep that, I think. So, Vala Stampede, chat, a reprint. 4 green for a sorcery. Council's Dilemma. Starting with you, each player votes for wild or free. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card for each wild vote. And put those creature cards onto the battlefield, and then shuffle the rest into your library. You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield for each free vote. So what should happen is you vote for wild, and everyone else votes for free. So you cheat 1 creature out at random from the top of your deck, and then you get to put 3 creatures into play. That's usually what actually happens. It's a good spell. Easy keep, I would think, right? Storm's Wrath. 2 red for a sorcery. Deals 4 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. We have a lot of dragons that die to this. Good thing we have nothing but 4 mana 4/4s. Will of the Teamer. 5 and a blue for a sorcery. Choose one. If you control a commander, as you cast a spell, you may choose both instead. Which we actually can do because we have Eshki as a commander. So you probably do both these most of the time, but there of course will be some scenarios where you just can't. First, you create a token that's a copy of target permanent. Except it's a 4/4 dragon with flying in addition to its other types. Pretty good. And then, target player draws cards equal to the greatest mana value among permanents you control. So it's a flow of knowledge that also copies a permanent? Or not flow of knowledge, rush of knowledge. You pay 1 more to get a 4/4 dragon copy of a permanent. Easy keep. Zenith Festival. X red for a sorcery. Exile the top X cards in your library. You may play them until the end of your next turn. Harmonize X red. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its harmonized cost. You may tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by an amount of generic mana equal to its power, and then exile the spell. Another easy keep. I'm actually not the biggest fan of Zenith Festival. The front side I don't like. The flashback mode is really good, right? Because you just tap 1 dragon and pay 2 red and exile top 5 or 6 or whatever, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's fine actually. It's fine. The flashback mode makes it way better. Elemental Bond. It's got Nissa on the art. Y'all know I don't like Nissa. But, oh, hang on, wait a minute. Hey. It's got the Nyx frame now. Okay. It's got a Nyx frame now. What's your beef with Nissa? I just like, her character sucks, dude. To me, it feels like Nissa's entire character feels unearned. Because her story just got eroded and completely changed to make her fit in the Gatewatch like lineup. It actually does look really cool with the new enchantment frame. Who is worse, Nissa or Loot? Loot. Loot is far worse. Loot is way worse. I don't like Nissa, but I hate Loot. Frontier Siege. 3 green for enchantment. As Frontier Siege enters, choose cons or dragons. Cons. At the beginning of each of your main phases, add green to your mana pool. Each of your main phases. So this thing adds 4 green every turn. Now, you gotta use the 2 green each main phase. But if you can spend it, that's 4 green. It's really good. Dragons. Whenever a creature with flying enters a battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. Your dragons fight things on enter, or it's a really good ramp spell. That's fine. That's good. Reflections of Litjara. Oh boy. 4 and a blue for enchantment. As this enchantment enters, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. This card, with how many legends get printed nowadays, what ends up happening usually is like half of your creatures are legendary. So you end up like just legend ruling yourself half the time. It only copies every other creature spell you cast. Dragons have lots of legends, actually. Like a lot of dragons. Or a lot of legendary dragons. Temur Ascendancy. Your creatures have haste. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under control, you may draw a card. Hey! That's pretty good. And the Nyx frame too, dude. Oh. That's a spicy, that's a spicy card right there. Spicy card. Land base is like almost perfect minus the sheltered thicket. So we add a forest. 14, 15, 16. We got 16 dragons, chat. Oh my god. Lozan? Who is Lozan? 3 blue red for a flying 4/2 dragon shaman creature. Whenever you cast an adventure or dragon spell, Lozan deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target that isn't a commander. I kind of don't like that I can't hit commanders, but you know what? Dragons are like really expensive. But I'm gonna say yeah for now. I feel what's gonna happen is we're gonna look at dragons and realize, oh shit, all these dragons are like $10. Dracu Seth is amazing, and it's only like, actually it's 43 cents because foundations. Skyline Despot, actually, yeah. So Skyline Despot, chat, it's a monarch dragon. So when it enters, you become the monarch, which means on your end step you draw a card. But if someone hits your face with a creature, they become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you are the monarch, you make a 5/5 red dragon with flying. You, in theory, should actually be very hard to take the monarch from, to be honest. Like, you're a flying deck with big creatures. It should be very hard to actually take the monarch from you, 100%. Savage Ventmaw, another good dragon. Yeah, it's some crazy ramp as well. 4 red green, 4/4 flying. When it attacks, you add 3 red and 3 green. Absolute nuts. It's also in Foundations, apparently. What the hell? It's in Foundations as an uncommon? What? Okay. Act like a Bahamut is kind of ramp. And Demon Battle Crier. True. It is expected to be like $7. You can buy it foil on TCG Player for $3.50. Also, Battle Crier, it comes as a buy a box promo. Or no, the bundle promo. So I think in theory, this thing actually should end up being like extremely cheap. I'll add it. I agree. It is a good ad. So here's my thing with backgrounds, chat. My thing with backgrounds is that, like, I feel like it just gives your opponents more incentive to kill your commander, because the backgrounds do nothing if your commander just stays on the field. So I feel like what happens is you cast this and it just gives your opponents more of a reason to kill Eshki. I will say 2 mana less is a lot for a 2 mana card. That's very good. You know what? Sure. It's 11 cents. You know what? Sure. Throw it in there. Do we like $7 Balefire Dragon, chat? It wraps your opponent's boards for 6 damage when it connects. No haste is meh, but I mean, to be fair, we have multiple cards that kind of give pseudo haste or just haste outright. So it's similar to the Guilty. Oh, this thing. Yeah. So 50 cents. 4 red for a flying trample dragon. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may collect evidence X. When you do, this creature deals X damage to each creature and planeswalker that player controls. So it's Balefire, but it's not stuck to the 6 damage on connection. And his planeswalkers, but you have to collect evidence. Which I would think is fine, because since you are probably playing like all your green ramp spells and 1 mana cheaper with trample. Yeah, actually, yeah. Wow. Why is this card 60 cents, dude? Dragonhawk is sick. 3 red for a legendary bird dragon creature flying. Whenever Dragonhawk enters or attacks, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is a number of creatures you control with power 4 or greater, which is like all of them. You may play those cards until your next end step. At the beginning of your end step, Dragonhawk deals 2 damage to each opponent for each of those cards that are still exiled. You can get the promo for $350, and you can get the base set printing for $430, which I think is worth it actually. It's card draw and also can be some insane damage if you just leave them exiled. I like that actually. Yeah. Darkon's Unsealing for the flavor. Yo. Scourge of Valkus. Okay, so maybe it's the hot take, chat. Maybe it's the hot take. I actually really don't like Scourge of Valkus. Like, everyone has this idea of dragons being this, like, super wide, like, faction. Like you know, they'll get, like, 10 5/5 flying dragons so fast. In my experience, both playing dragons and playing against dragons, they never get more than, like, 4 dragons ever. So then you just have this, like, 5-mana 4/4 flyer that maybe kills some creatures once you have, like, 4 or 5 dragons. Warmonger Hellkite. Okay, hold on, wait. Unsealing. Get it? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Oh, I get it. This is a reference. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's 30 cents? Oh, no. Oh, no, chat. Wait a minute. Do we add this? Do we add this? Oh, no. The flavor is so bad. The flavor is so bad, chat. No, don't make me. For the lore. It's 3 cards per dragon. Yeah. For the really big ones, though. 4, 5, and 6, you just get Eldrazi spawns, which honestly are still really good for ramp purposes. 1 spawn is whatever, 2 spawns is really good. The flavor is absolutely horrendous, but it's good card. You gotta do Sarkons too. Sarkons. When you cast a creature spell with power 4, 5, or 6, it deals 4 damage to any target. So creatures, commanders, people, whatever. Or if it's power. Power 7 or greater. Okay, how many of those we have? We can't trigger the bottom mode except for 3 creatures, chat. Which is, it deals 4 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. I mean, we could add more big dragons, I guess. I would add Mirim, but Mirim is like $20. That's not great. Furcrag. Who is Furcrag? 3 blue-red for a legendary dragon. Flying haste. It is $2. Whenever 1 or more dragons you control attack an opponent, go to target creature that player controls. Well, we just cut the fucking Vengeful Ancestor, and now tell me to put in more gold? Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, if that creature had to attack this combat, you put a +1/+1 counter on Furcrag, and you draw a card. That's not bad, actually. I guess it keeps, like, really scary threats away from you, right? And it has haste. So he, at the very least, diverts 1 creature. I actually like him a lot. He's cool. Warmonger Hellkite. 4 red for a 5/5 flying dragon. All creatures attack each combat if able. 1 or red. Attacking creatures get +1/+0 until a turn, including your opponents. So if your opponents attack someone else, you can buff their creatures for 2 mana. Also, since all creatures have to attack, it's synergy with Furcrag. Change that printing. That one's not legal. Like, actually. Do we like Xanax? So he enters and gives you 1 treasure. Kind of not great. But also makes all your dragons also give treasure. Is that worth it? It's a little slow to get rolling, I think. Ganache. Ganache is probably better than Mirim.
Whoa, what the hell?
Hello? In what world? Hellkite Charger. That's the, yeah. Yeah. 7 mana is kind of a lot. Does have haste, though. 7 mana is kind of a lot, to be honest. But it is a dragon, and it does trigger Eshki. I'll throw him in. EQ Dragon's also perfect here. Yeah, it is actually. It's very good. Also cheap as well. Cost X less a cast, where X is the total mana value of dragons you control, flying, trample, and can also recur itself. Null Spine Dragon. I like Null Spine actually. I like Null Spine a lot. Also, I think we're entering the end stop for dragons here. We need more ramp, I think. Cause so chat, you may have noticed this, but I'll clarify. Like, it's very clear the designers were terrified of making this like big mana pile and having like a bunch of 5, 6, 7 mana dragons and not having enough ramp. So what they did was, rather than just play good dragons and have enough ramp to make sure you can cast them enough, they put in all these like super mid 4-drop dragons that just do nothing. So we definitely need to have more ramp than the deck came with to adjust to our new mana curve. Before anything else, we need Rhythm of the Wild. That's the Riot anthem, right? $3. Your creatures can't be countered. And then they have Riot, so you can give them +1 counters or haste. Newsflash, it's gonna be haste every time. Okay, I agree. One more haste engine I think is fair. Also prevents counter spells. Those darn blue players. Can we get some like some big ramp, chat? Like, we have Ventmaw, that's good. I feel like we need like a couple, like 2 ramp spells that are like 7 mana and ramp you up by like 7 lands or something. Boundless Realms, my goat. Boundless Realms, my goat. Yeah. We need basics for it to work, but I mean, we have, what is that? We have 15. I also only see Kodama's Reach and no Cultivate. Diversity Outlands, I think, is $2. It's $2. Wow. But chat, play this, please. You know what? Yeah, just add that. Boundless Realm has Nissa in it. Where? What? That's Cap. That's Cap, right? The flavor text. I don't really mind that. Flavor text I can tolerate. Genesis Ultimatum. Oh, yo, if there's any deck you put in Genesis Ultimatum, it's this one. If you were playing Ureni, I would say to just put in Majestic Genesis. Flip the top 7 and put all permanents into play, which is just better than the Ultimatum at that point. But we're not playing Ureni, so the orbs. I'm not the biggest fan of the orbs, chat. I really don't like them. They are just manaliths with upside. Gives haste. Okay, that one's good. Haste is good. I don't really care for the green one. I kind of like the blue one. Scry 2 to ensure you hit land drops. It's a pretty big deal, I'd say. The red one's pretty good. Okay, fine. You got me. Wait, wait. Chat. Full Saiyan Dragonstorm. Yes. Is it good? Probably not, to be honest. But it's very funny. Bridgeworks Battle and Colony Ambush are lands that are fight spells. I could just add the MDFC fight spell lands, and then we'll have 39 lands in the deck, which I think probably is just good regardless, because you need lands in these big mana decks. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Colony Ambush is cheap, right? 50 cents, and Bridgeworks Battle. Okay, that's 100. That right there is 100, chat. Does that look good to us? Do we like that? Where are the counter spells? You're in Temur, you don't counter spells. Blue is just flavor text in Temur, bro. 12 blue spells. Stubborn Denial. Okay, you know what? That one actually is pretty good. It's 250, chat. It's 250. You know what? Fine. I gotta cut something then, though. We can have 1 counter spell, surely. It's 1 mana, too, so it's like not annoying to keep up at all. Yeah, we can do that. Cut the extra forest. Oh, yeah, actually, true. 24 cards cut, chat. Honestly, not terrible. I think we cut like 30 cards from Energy and Zombies back in Aether Drift. So, not the worst. But that's a lot of bad dragons, chat.